Hi, this is Mike Chartrand. This is varicocele surgery part 4, part 2. It's the shower story. It's why I had surgery, and it kind of informs my thinking why I think a lot of men have a varicocele type of a syndrome where they get stiffness in their hip and causes spinal problems and mobility problems as they get older. But they don't know about this. The doctors really don't know about this because the actual men have never been studied as they get older. Uh, it's basically discounted. So the story goes, basically I put on a hockey jock strap and pulled it up. When I took it off to take a shower, the testicle felt heavier and heavier, and I went to the floor and felt like I got punched in the gut. I felt like that all day. I think it's incredible that to this day none of the doctors that I have seen have commented on the following story at all. The only exception is the doctor that referred me. The initial pain that I felt in my groin 10 years before my surgery is just inside the big hip bone where the scar from my surgery begins. It is also where the cremaster and the internal oblique meet the hip bone. This is where I feel pulled down from. In 2006, I had acupuncture from a physiotherapist. I was working at a sit-stand workstation in an office. When I did the bridge exercise, I felt burning around the sacrum and felt like I had to go to the bathroom when I rested on the floor. When I was sitting, my glutes and hamstrings would burn, and when I was standing, my feet and legs and hamstrings would burn. In 2007, I went to a physiotherapist that advertised therapy for incontinence, and they did acupuncture and saw my seat cushion with the tailbone cut out. They recommended internal massage and Kegels exercises. The Kegels exercises helped a little with the burning in the legs, but then I had more pulling of the scrotum and crushing of the testicle between the legs as I pulled up and in. I went and bought a hockey jock strap during a break at work. It brought some immediate relief. I still had a lot of burning, though. The next day, I seemed to have lost a hip belt size, and my hip felt looser. On the third day, I took it off to take a shower, and over 5 minutes, it very gradually began to feel heavier and heavier. I was actually very happy. I was sure that we had found the reason for my hip and back problems because I'd had this pulling in my hip 10 years earlier. 10 years earlier, I was running 5K at 5 minutes per mile, then had a pulling just inside my hip bone that would get worse when I ran fast. I had to stop running. Now back to the shower story. As I was in the shower, it felt heavier and heavier gradually until I went to my knees and then lay down in the shower. My heart rate was around 170, and it felt like I got hit below the belt with a hockey puck, gradually. My testicle did not hurt, and I felt like I got punched in the gut, and I felt like that all day. I had been seeing a sport and spine specialist for 15 years since I was competing. He said there was no relationship between the varicoele and the spinal problems, but since they were in the same area, the varicocele might be exacerbating my hip and back problems. And that's what I'm saying. The surgeon said there was no relationship. My initial appointment with the urologist was with a resident doctor who diagnosed me grade 4 varicocele. The surgeon downgraded it to grade 3 high grade. The resident asked me what the problem was, and I began telling him about my pain while running, the back pain driving transit bus, then the pain at the office. And by the time I got to the shower story, he just asked me to drop my pants. He made me cough with my testicle in his hands, then got a paper and began to exclaim, "You need surgery! You need surgery! Sign here! Sign! Sign!" He was from another country, so that might have been part of the reason why he didn't want to listen to my history. But I wrote to the surgeon and said that I was afraid that the surgery wouldn't work because I had been a distance runner, my cardiovascular system was well developed, my veins were big. He said all that the surgery would do would be to correct the 2 out of 10 achy draggy feeling in the scrotum. Well, I had already read in the textbook that a lot of men had pain from varicocele, so I went through with the surgery, but it did not reduce the size of the varicocele very much. The surgeon said that all he could do was to cut off the testicle. So I left and saw another urologist. He said it was a varicocele, but that they wait a year before they consider another surgery. I feel that he knew that there was more that he could do, and he should have told me that it takes a year for the surgery to work. He should never have suggested cutting off the testicle until he had done more tests. He shouldn't have suggested it anyway. Especially the venogram. I don't know what the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Manitoba was thinking when they said that he had provided reasonable service. I think that when he said all the surgery will do is correct the 2 out of 10 achy draggy feeling in the testicle, it's a lie, and compared to the literature, he knows that. Or that there is an extreme stigma, and he's blind to it. Stigma because of a stigma against men with pain and disability from varicocele. He doesn't believe it. It's a difficult surgery, and it doesn't always work. I was not warned, and I was not told about the failure rates and other types of surgeries and the risks that go with each. He says his surgery has never failed. It causes disability. He should have told my doctor that it was in the top percentile that he had seen. I should not have been labeled psychosomatic or somatoform disorder because my symptoms were more than what would be expected. My varicocele was greater than normal, and I should have had symptoms that were greater than normal. There is a real problem when the surgeon believes that he has never failed at a varicocele surgery. There is more that they can do. He should have done a venogram before the surgery. He should have definitely done a venogram after when it didn't work. And he should be informing all of his patients about their options. So that's the story, and I'll be talking more about it later. I hope my camera work here shows a table of contents for my other videos. I'm sorry, it's very difficult for me to do this. Thanks for watching.